It's become part and parcel once you get into the top 30, 40 in the world to have at least 4 people traveling with you, which is a relatively new thing. It's quite an entourage situation now.
When I played, they called it an entourage, but now they call it a team, you know.
The team is it's so important because you spend almost more time with them than with your family, almost every week of the year.
It tracks with the uptick in prize money. It gives the players more resources to surround themselves with physios and strength and conditioning coaches, as well as their obvious coaches for the tennis.
It's probably only the top players who can afford a full entourage, because it's very expensive to have to pay the salaries and the related expenses, flights, accommodation, meals, phone calls, etc. of a coach, maybe a hitting partner, a physio, and a physical trainer, maybe even an agent as well.
They're having a hard time sometimes with me because I can be very strict, but also most of the time I'm nice.
Your team can sometimes be as quirky as you are, depending on what your needs may be, and mine was relatively straightforward with the strength and conditioning side of things, tennis side of things, and I also like people around me that created a bit of distraction from the pressures that come along with life on the tour. It's a lot to ask of somebody out there on the court all alone.
Sometimes you have people who are almost gophers to go get this and go get that, but they don't really have much of a purpose other than picking things up for the players. Some players, I guess, are less self-sufficient than others. It is a part of our sport now. They've had to increase the size of player lounges. They had to, plan for more food in the player restaurants, allocate more money for the players on their credentials on a daily basis to buy food and drink in the player restaurants, because they're not just there with a coach.
Now, the boys are 31 and 30, and they're both married, and actually I can come and just be mum, but you should never underestimate the emotional support that a player needs, particularly in the bigger events where there is an awful lot of pressure. And it's great, I think, to have family around you who know you and love you regardless of whether you win or not.